Folks, today I'm going to be talking to you some of the very, very important things that most of the people, most of the humanity, even the so-called Swamis, Anandas, Paramahamsas, I don't know what are other titles they have, even they don't understand, they don't learn. So I want to tell you what is the mistake that they are making. That will clear lot of your hurdles in going through unconditional love. That is the only way there can be peace in the world. Okay, let us start. Now, first, for example, I have this body, and you also have your body. And there is an I am inside my mind, right? And you too have. And all around, not only in the front, but all around, there is this, first of all, there is the body, then all around there is this physical universe, houses, the trees, earth, all the planets, and all the suns and galaxies, and so on and so on. This is the bigger world, astrophysics, what is called astrophysics. Then there is quantum physics, that is minute things like atom, electrons, neutrons, fundamental particles, and then even further down below, there are they are proposing. They have not fully proven yet, but they are proposing. The quantum physicists are proposing. There are multiple layers of existence, and there are strings like objects. They are vibrating at various frequencies, and different frequencies could create different fundamental particles that finally we see as atoms and electrons and so on and so on. It's called, anything bigger is astrophysics, anything going smaller and smaller is quantum mechanics, quantum physics. Now, some of the great Swamis, famous people, are saying their God is somewhere in the quantum physics, and the God, their God, okay, especially the Hindus, Hindu God is in one of the layers in quantum physics, quantum mechanics. That's what they are saying. Let me tell you this. What is physical? That's what first I want to define what is physical world. If you see things with your eyes, it's your physical world, the universe that you are seeing. Then if you are using any of the physical instruments, right, like telescope, powerful telescopes to see all the suns, planets and galaxies and so on, and also my electron microscopes, powerful microscopes, to see things, fundamental particles and so on. Still, the string theory is they cannot be seen. It's a proposal, to my knowledge. Right. Now, everything this is the important thing. Everything that you see, witness, using your eyes and mind, and let's not bring the mind, with your eyes and physical instruments like electron microscope, everything is all physical universe. quantum world is a physical universe. You have to clearly understand. It is not it's not where the God is. Everybody knows, all the Swamis, all these people know that God is beyond the physical world. But because it is so small that the quantum physics thinks entities are so small, they think that that is God, or God is inside. Mom, what a stupidity, what an ignorance. Even some people study some physics at the surface level. They don't really understand what is the physical world, what is the physical universe. So clearly you understand quantum physics, all the quantum entities inside, small entities, they are all physical universe. Understand this very clearly. Okay, this is the first point I want to just strongly communicate to you. Do not believe people who says that God is in the quantum world. No way. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. Now you have all your five senses, right? Plus the brain, and your mind is there. Mind is like brain is like a hardware, and for example, in your smartphone, all the machinery is hardware, right? So it's like a brain is a hardware, physical entity, and the mind is a software that runs on the brain. Without running on the brain, mind cannot change. Mind cannot change. It cannot create new thoughts and so on. Okay, this is another important point which I will come to very quickly. It's a very extremely important point. Okay, now when you are normally in the physical universe, you have five senses in your body, and then you see all your world, your mind. You see all your universe, interact with the people, and so on. When you go to when you sleep and when you dream, the five senses, okay, the five senses send information to your brain, but they will not be processed because that I am, which is in the mind, is busy with its dream world. This is important. Okay, so that is purely mental universe. Whatever the mind generates, dreams and other things, if you meditate, the I am is in your mind level. It is in the mind level. It's a thought. Okay. Then whatever it sees, various figures, various lights, and so on, gods and so on, various thoughts and so on. They are all dreams. The mind produces whatever the mind produces. It's a production of the mind. Okay. At this point, remember, there is no interaction with the external world. Only the mind is there. It is producing. Sometimes, if you have opened so-called a third eye, you will get from somewhere else also. Not only your mind can produce the results of your own thoughts, but other thoughts also. Okay, so this is totally a mental world. And when you reach samadhi, where they say there is no thought absolutely, then even then you are within your mind, and it is a projection of the mind. Okay, now this is the second stage. You are physical stage, then the dream state, then the third state is the deep sleep state. When you are in deep sleep, not only the five senses are not working, they are not being recognized, but your mind also, the I am in your mind is absent. That's why you cannot really understand anything. You are totally ignorant of what's going on. You are in deep sleep. You have no way of knowing anything about that state. This is the third state. Okay, now, when you get up in the morning, either you directly wake up or you go through a dream state, and then you come to your physical senses, where all the five senses will start operating. These are the three stages that normally people will go through, including those people who will reach samadhi, who see the lights and so on. This will be very clear in a few minutes. I'm going to tell you. Now, there is a fourth stage. This fourth stage, you cannot, by meditating, you wishing, you cannot go to that world. That is the word. It's called Turia state, but I stopped using the word Turia because the people have been misusing the Turia, the fourth state, for anything. Okay, so whatever their mind sees like various gods and so on, they think it is they are in Turiya state, seeing gods and so on. Okay, let me tell you what happens in Turiya state. Turiya state, your mind, human mind, is totally arrested, and that has no physical sense. The physical body is not there. Okay, and I'll give I'll give a link to one of the videos where I clearly described recently my Turia state, or no name state, or that's what I call that. Okay, there. This is important. There, I have described several spiritual experiences. I'm going to quickly go after one after another very important things alone. Okay? First, there is eternal unknown. That means it's forever unknown. Nothing can be known about it. Okay? Then there is this, its mind, which is darkness, total darkness. Okay? Now, this is important. At this point, one of my spiritual experiences, I'm sure you have watched, that there is something separates from me. It says in English, it says, I am Vak, I am your daughter. Okay? Now, whether English language is there in the divine world or the Turiya state world, the world of eternal unknown, no, not at all. Then what is that I heard walk, and it is saying, I'm your daughter. This is important. This is to communicate to you, to the normal humanity who lives only in the three states, physical state, dream state, and the deep sleep state, in order to communicate to them what is there, possibly. They cannot understand anything else. They can only understand these things. So in order to communicate to them, these things appear symbolically. Note the word symbolically. And second, it is communicate to people, humanity in those three states. There is no English language there. There is no walk. There is nothing like a walk there. It's what is then there. We'll come to that in a minute. Then it creates two eyes, and then that's how I see through them, and then those three lights are formed: the red light, and the red jyoti, golden jyoti, and then the white jyoti. Are this white jyoti, golden jyoti, and the red lights, are they really there? No, not at all there. What is really there, I'll tell you in a minute. But these things to communicate to you, communicate to the humanity, these things appear to me. And then I learned through spiritual experiences what is the function of the red light, what is the function of golden light. For example, it is a principle of love, it's a principle of life. And most of the people know only the third one, that is this white light. They think it's about Paramatma. It's again, it is in order to communicate to them. Okay, now next one that I want to talk to you is that one day I saw a cow there, and I said very clearly in that spiritual experience that it is really symbolic. It is, cow is not there in the divine world, in the Turia state world. Okay, it's just to communicate. So there is a cow, and from there white ray, it is white color. The cow is white, pure white, and from there the various rays are coming to my body, and they stay in my body. Means not this human body. It is my body there in Turia state. It's dark. Okay, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So it stays here and goes back. This is what people call Atma. Okay, but what they really call Atma is different. This is really what happens when a child is born. When a child is conceived, this ray of light goes and stays with them until they die. When they die, it leaves. Okay, I'm going to talk about it very quickly, very soon. Okay, now the cow is really not there. It represents the white light, and it separates, each ray represents one birth. Okay, not only human birth but also animals and everything. Everything which has the I principle, the I amness. Okay, right. Now remember, this is in order to communicate to you that white light is separating as various rays, and then stays somewhere for some time in me and goes back. Okay, then there is another thing, another experience, that is I am in the darkness, and then immediately three integrated, united heads appear, and then I see they appear, and then the middle one, there is a white, my golden light goes from me and then falls on that middle head, and it becomes a beautiful young lady. Really, that woman is there? No. This is to communicate to you as an attraction of what you call as an Lakshmi, the golden light. Golden light, okay. That's why you call that when your daughter-in-law comes to your house, she is Lakshmi. She is bringing all the gold and so on. She is not bringing wealth. The golden light does not represent wealth. It is love. And that one gives life to the lifeless one. That is why I call that as a life principle. Gold is a life principle. Okay. Again, it is communicate to you that all these symbolic representations are given whenever I experienced. Then after when I go and merge it attracts so much. There is so much love, and that is why I call that the love principle also. I go and merge with that, immediately I become someone with the five snakes behind. The five snakes I told you is a five ganas, or and they represent the five senses in each and every human body, and of course some of them will be absent, some are in other animals. Okay, again, all these things, if all the things that I have been talking to you, they are appearances in the fourth, in the Turia state, in order for me to come to you and communicate to you the way that I am doing. But what really is there is total darkness, absolute darkness. There is nothing else is there. Then how all these things, all this red light and white light and golden light and snake, five snakes, and the cow and the various rays, they're all there. They're all energy forms. Even I cannot use the word energy, but minimum I have to use the word energy. There is nothing like an energy there. There is no name to that. It is some kind of, for example, when you have clay, okay, when you with the clay, you can form various figures, like a man, woman, like that. The same way, the darkness, in the darkness it becomes various energy forms. The clay is the energy, the basic energy, and whatever is formed out of it, like the figures and so on that people do, people create when they are creating various dolls and things like that. They are all energy forms. Okay, so what is there in the fourth state, in the Turia state, or in the no man's state, divine world, is all energy, for energy and energy forms which cannot be seen by a human being. In order to teach them what is there in the divine world, all these things that I've been talking about, red jyoti, and they'll appear. Okay, remember this very clearly. There is nothing that you can see in the Turiya state. Absolute darkness. That doesn't mean the people who see in the dream world, in samadhi state, they are seeing Turiya state. No. In the Turiya state, when you reach the Turiya state, you will know you are the eternal unknown. You are the creator. You are the one which appear in various form in the whole universe, as I have described in many of my videos. But samadhi, people who reached samadhi, kriya yoga, and all other things, are they saying they are gods? They still worship God. They can they say they created, how everything was created? No, they cannot say that. What will happen when the dissolution of the creation takes place? No, they cannot say that. This one is for eternal. It's forever, eternal. It does not represent any religion. No religion is there. No human being there. No Vishnu as a human being. No Shiva with the two sons, like Kartikeya and Ganapati and so on. So these are all human created, Hindus created Puranas. You understand? So this is the important point. What is there in the divine world? Everything is darkness. If you reach there, you will realize you are the eternal unknown. You are the one which exists everywhere. Not worship, it exists everywhere. They worship all kinds of things. People worship all kinds of things. Okay? So this is extremely important. But in order to communicate this to a form that can be understood by human beings, because they have to be taught about unconditional love, I learned all these things in the spiritual experiences. That's meant for communication to you. It's not real there. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Okay. And all these gurus and other people who dance like Shiva, who who who, who thinks that they have seen the white light, and they have seen the red light, they have seen the golden light. For example, Vivekananda seems he experienced a golden light behind and so on. These are all mental projections. Okay, now when you die, you obviously leave all your body. Nobody, including Jesus Christ or Vallala or Ramalinga Swami, the Tamil Nadu saint, so-called saint, they say that he has vanished. He took his body to heaven. Nobody can do it. You have to leave this body. This body cannot be seen anywhere else. This body can be seen only with your five senses. Okay, touched and so on and so on. Okay, remember that. And then it happens. Then when you are totally in the dream state, that's your mental level, at that time you go through all your experiences in your life, what you went through, important things you went through, you suffer, sometimes be happy, and then finally when the time it is ready, then the mind is separated from the brain, and then you are no longer in the dream state, and then your body is completely out of your control, and at this point your life, the golden light leaves you. At that time you experience a lot of joy. After going through a heavy lot of pain in your mind, dream state, you'll experience joy. Sometimes that's what they say. The near-death experience, people say that I experienced extreme joy, mother's love, and so on. But they cannot go there. If they go there, they cannot come back. They see it somewhere at the end of the tunnel, but they cannot come back to the human body. Anyway, then what happens? The mind, this is the important thing. The mind separates from the brain and it goes to the world of mind. I used to call that as an Akashic record. I do not want to do that anymore. It's just the mental base, thought database, let's call that way. The thoughts of all the people who lived in the past. And this is exactly what you'll see when you open the third eye. So when you open the third eye, you will also see all the devils, all the things that are coming to attack you and so on, because people who have experienced such things are there. They left all those things in the mental database. It's a dark in color. Okay, and this is what, when you see in the dream world, sometimes more than what your own thoughts create, it is coming from that mental database. Remember that. Okay, now this is exactly what is happening in human life, and also when you reach the fourth state. Of course, when you understood, when you experience the the unconditional love, as I told you, that you will be an embodiment of the golden light, but you cannot see it. Because if you try to see it, you will go to the mind level, which is not correct. Okay, which is projection. Okay, so I don't have time to talk about unconditional love. So in this video, I have clearly said that whatever people see in the quantum world, there is no God there. It's a physical universe. It is in the divine world is not, that world is still physical world. It's not a divine world. Remember that. Okay. And second thing that you need to remember is whatever symbolically I said, like red jyoti, white jyoti, and so on, they are to communicate to people humanity. Okay, remember that. These are the two things that I want to communicate to you. Please, if you have any question, let me know. Talk to you soon, folks.